Welcome back. Now for your 5-day weather forecast, we go outside to Alicia Parchment.
Right now, it looks like there's no rain in sight for your Easter egg hunt this long weekend. So, let's take a look at your 5-day weather forecast. Today will be partly cloudy but cool with a high of 8 degrees, and tonight temperatures will get down to -1. Kicking off your long weekend on Friday, we'll have clear and sunny skies with a high of 11 and a low of -1. The sun will continue into Saturday with a high of 14 and a low of 0. On Sunday, we'll be partly cloudy with a high of 15 and a low of 1. And for your holiday Monday, we'll see a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 11 and a low of 4. And that's been your 5-day weather forecast. Have a hippity-hoppity long weekend. Now, back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Alicia. Oakland's police chief says there was a mix-up in their investigation about who the gunman was targeting when he killed 6 students and an employee at a Christian college. Chief Howard Jordan had said the director of nursing was the original target, but now says it was another female administrator at the college. 43-year-old One Go has been charged with 7 counts of murder and 3 counts of attempted murder.
Anti-austerity activists in Greece are planning a new strategy after a retiree killed himself in protest. The 77-year-old pharmacist left a suicide note saying he could not survive on his pension due to Greece's austerity measures. More than 15,000 protesters gathered in central Athens following the death, and many clashed with riot police. An organizer of a left-wing group says the suicide was clearly a political act. Greece has been living off bailout money since 2010. The funds were secured by cutting back on pensions and salaries while increasing taxes.
It's been dubbed the ghost ship, and today it's going down. A Japanese squid fishing boat set adrift in last year's tsunami will be sunk by a U.S. Coast Guard vessel. The Coast Guard says the unmanned ship poses a significant risk to other marine traffic. The fishing vessel was first spotted off the coast of BC last month.
The Nunavut government says there are more polar bears in a key Arctic region than previously thought. A recent survey shows the polar bear population along the Hudson Bay tops 1,000. That's almost 100 more than the estimated population in 2004. The increase is stumping researchers who predicted numbers would fall to barely 600 as warmer temperatures melt the ice and make it harder to hunt. The director of wildlife for Nunavut says the increase justifies a recent government decision to increase the hunting quotas for polar bears. The Hudson Bay region is considered a marker for how polar bears are doing across the Arctic.
The Conservatives are set to celebrate the official demise of the Long Gun Registry. Bill C-19 was passed by the Senate late last night, which kills the registry and destroys the data already collected. The Quebec government is before a Montreal judge today trying to prevent the destruction of the records. It's seeking an injunction to protect the data until a judge can decide if destroying records would be unconstitutional. Public Safety Minister Vic Taves confirmed the elimination of the records would begin this afternoon after the bill receives royal assent and is signed into law.
And now with your sports news, here's Kate Foster.
Toronto FC's CONCACAF dreams are officially over after a thumping from Santos Laguna. After a 6-2 loss in the CONCACAF semifinal, TFC will be headed back home from Mexico. This loss coming on the heels of goalkeeper Stefan Frei getting sidelined for the next 4 to 6 months following surgery. This leaves Santos Laguna heading to the Champions League final to face Monterrey. The Raptors won their 3rd game in a row last night, defeating the struggling 76ers 99-78 in Philly. It was the first time they've won 3 straight since winning 4 in a row in November 2010. While they're finally playing the best ball they have all season, they're hurting their chances for May's draft lottery. Raps coach Dwayne Casey started forward Alan Anderson for the first time in almost 6 years, who sealed up 13 points in 31 minutes. The highly anticipated first round of the Masters tournament is underway on the Augusta greens. During the practice round, Martin Kamer skipped his ball across the water on the par 3 16th hole, scoring an ace. Many are calling this year's tournament a showdown between 14 times major winner Tiger Woods and the up-and-coming star Rory McIlroy. However, some say this isn't the case since Woods hasn't won at the Masters since 2005 and McIlroy has never donned the green jacket. Other contenders this weekend include Phil Mickelson, Graham McDowell, Luke Donald, and Lee Westwood. After an incredible preseason where they set a club and major league record with 24 wins in spring training, the confident Toronto Blue Jays are in Cleveland today. They will face the Indians in their season opener. Third baseman Brett Lowry impressed fans this spring, setting the Jays' best batting average of .524. Ricky Romero has also been on fire and will be on the hills for the Jays today. Romero says the team knows they still have a lot of work to do. The last club to go into the regular season with 23 spring training wins was the 1997 Florida Marlins, who ended up taking the World Series that year. The MLB season opened last night on North American soil with the St. Louis Cardinals beating out the Miami Marlins 4-1. NHL action continues as the playoffs begin next week. The slumping Montreal Canadiens managed to pull off a 5-2 win against the Tampa Bay Lightning. This came following news that Habs goaltender Carey Price has been shut down with a mild concussion and will miss the remainder of the season. In the only other game last night, the Detroit Red Wings climbed to fourth in the West after they beat the St. Louis Blues 3-2 in a shootout. That's it for sports. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Kate. After the break, we'll get the latest in entertainment from Andrea Lawson.